Hey everybody, welcome back for day 97 of 100 Days of Halloween. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we are on day 97. So, 100 Days of Halloween, real quick for the new ones here, because the rest of us already know. So the details. And for the majority of the details, you're going to need to go see Ranee over at the Woolly Llama Shop. She is linked in the description box. You can get all the details over there. So, 100 Days of Halloween. She was discussing with us, several of us, on a live back in July. She had a brilliant idea for a special project for the 100 Days of Halloween, and that idea was to build a blanket because it's so hot in summertime and you didn't want something that was going to grow right away. So the idea was to do the blanket in 6-inch by 6-inch or thereabouts granny squares with either a fall or Halloween theme and do 100 of them, one for every day of the 100 days of Halloween. Well, I thought it was a brilliant idea. I wanted to join in. I wanted to make a Halloween blanket for forever. Just lifey stuff always got in the way. So I joined in solidarity. And what she did was she scoured the interwebs. She compiled this big long list of all of these different fall and Halloween themed appliques, squares, and all of this. And each one is correlated with a number in her computer that she is drawing at random from the Jinx Jack o' Lantern of Joy, so that, and I've got pop ups coming up, um, so that she can provide you guys with a free either tutorial or a written pattern on a blog post every day, except for Saturdays and Sundays. She would draw a three for on Friday because of her work schedule. But that way, you guys were provided with the inspiration in case you wanted to make them either the squares, the appliques, and use them even in different projects if you're not making blankets like other people have been. Um, and that brings me to two other yarny friends and sisters who have joined in, and they have been making other things other than a blanket, like Rainey and I. We have Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations. She is making squares. However, those were going to be used in making wearables for herself and some near and dear littles in her life. And we are anxiously awaiting to see the reveal of those during her 13 days of Halloween. I know they're going to be adorable. And then we have Patricia over at the Yarny Cat Crochet, who started off with making an awesome crossbody bag. Then she turned around and made a matching scarf to go with it. Then she switched gears totally and went on the amigurumi zone. And since then, she's also been making pumpkins along with some of us. So it's been a big pumpkin palooza here lately. I'm telling you, everybody, almost everybody is making the pumpkins. So go check them out as well so you can see their awesome projects and what else they're up to. They are always linked in the description box for these videos. So, back to the 100 Days of Halloween. So, since Rainey was drawing motifs for Granny Squares, appliques, all of that at random every day, when we very first started, I had a lot of appointments going on. I was taking scrap balls of yarn with me. So while I was waiting, I could make squares in anticipation for using them in the blanket. Well, very quickly, I ended up with the vast majority of my squares already done for the entirety of the blanket, most of which just needed an applique. So I decided what I was going to do to shake things up and be a little fun. I was going to draw them at random every day, and I would have 24 hours ish to figure out what I was going to do with the square. And you guys have been guessing and suggesting in the comments, and I've been taking so much inspiration from that. And I still have a long list that I'm going, I wish I could put all of them in a blanket. Um, and then I've also been taking the inspiration from things that Rainey has drawn. Sometimes I've done them before she's drawn them, but a lot of times I have not. I've taken inspiration from Patricia, from Nova. I've taken inspiration from being out and about in the wild and while we were on vacation. Also, things I've seen on TV, in books, magazines, what have you. So we never know from day to day what's going to go on a square. So, what I've been doing with these squares, other than drawing them at random, I am counting mine up in batches of 10 because it's easier for me to keep track of since we're doing 100 days. And I know that's 10 batches of 10. And once I have reached 10 for a batch, I'm doing a video short recap on those squares before they get fed into my blanket. And that way you guys can see them before they're implemented to the final project. Now, we've already completed 1 through 90. So that was 9 groups of 10. Now we are on the final group of 10. And so we are working on 91 through 100. And today is square number 97. So let's get into it. Let's see. Let's do a little recap of the ones we've done starting from day 91 and get up to today's square. And we will draw another one for tomorrow for day 98. So, day 91 square, we drew at random this granny square here. It's called the Halloween eyeball granny square. And the pattern is from Stitched by Faye. Now, if you are interested in wanting to do just the eyeball or the whole entire granny square for something, all you got to do is look in my description box, go down and look for day 91, and it'll give you all the information so that you can go over there and get your hands on the pattern. And it's the same for any of the other squares. If there is a video tutorial or a written pattern on a blog post, I include it under that day square. And that way you have access to it and you know where to look for it. However, I have done a lot of freehanding. If there is some freehanding on some squares, I will also put that there to let you know that there is no pattern at this time. Maybe someday I will go back and revisit some of these that I freehanded and try and figure something out. So this was day 91. Then day 92, we drew out this neon fluorescent orange, and I wasn't sure what I was going to put on it, and I ended up in the ER due to a little mishap. And none of the little appliques that I have ready in my little cardboard box was working. I just wasn't feeling it. So I ended up, due to time constraints, freehanding this little pumpkin face. And that was what we put on here. And that way, I mean, it makes the orange pop. So why not? I might at some point put a little stem, maybe the little corkscrew vine. I don't know. We will have to see once we get it put into the blanket. Then for day 93 square, we drew at random. It was this darker red with a gold trim. And it was a good thing the way I pulled it out. The front of the square was not facing you guys because it was a super secret, top secret square. And I wanted you guys to guess to see if you could figure out what was already on it for the next day. And it ended up being the iconic Harry Potter glasses, because we had already done Dobby with his sock to make him a free elf, and Sam over at Memphis Makes, Patricia from Yarny Cat Crochet, and I think there was another one that kept asking for more Harry Potter. And doing the glasses was a little bit easier than me trying to figure out the whole body. I wanted to be able to do it justice, and I knew I wouldn't have time. So we just did the glasses, and all it was a couple of circles in the same color as this square. And then I trimmed them out in black, did a chain, single crocheted across, attached them, sewed them down. And then I did the little lightning bolt scar and then the HP for Harry Potter. So that was day 93. And then day 94 square, we drew at random one of the Red Heart Super Saver jumbo stripes in brights. And it's trimmed in the neon green. We chose to leave this one blank because we are getting to the very end, the final push of all the squares to go on this blanket. And I have some appliques that are too large for just one square. So I'm going to try and strategically place some of these that look well together to implement those appliques on, because I put the work in and I want to be able to use them so they don't go to waste. So we intentionally left it blank. At some point, once we get all the squares on, if some of these squares don't have one of those extra large and I feel like it needs a smaller applique and I have some available or I have some ideas in mind, I will put them on there and then we will show you when that gets done. So that was day 94. Then for day 95, we drew out this deep purple. It's like a grapey purple. And I decided I was going to use this square to implement an applique for someone very special. She had been wanting to see, and she asked multiple times, and she asked nicely. And you guys know who I'm talking about. It is the lovely Laura, or affectionately called Lala or Mimi, over at Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming, and she wanted to see a calico cat, and I could not let her down. I had to do it because y'all know I love me some Laura. Um, she, yeah. If you guys, if anybody is on here and you do not know who Laura is, please go check her out. I First off, I don't know how you don't know Laura. Um, if you're one of the cool kids, you know Laura. So, and her sister, Jan. So I implemented the calico cat. The pattern for the base part of the cat is actually from Coastal Crochet, and it's done in black. It's a silhouette, and her square that she puts it on is like a rainbow kind of sunset kind of thing. I decided to do it in white, and then that way I could make little tiny spots, what have you, and put them on. And I just changed up, and instead of using the white for the ears, I did one black and one brownish orange, so that it was a perfect calico cat. So, and Laura pointed out that two of these spots together look like a bat. So there we go. And I just slip stitched some little stars on there. So that was day 95 for Laura. And then day 96 square that we drew at random was this very pretty neon green trimmed down orange and that same grapish dark purple. And what I chose to put on this one was part of a 5-part pattern that I'd been using throughout the blanket. And it was the little ghosties from the caffeinated snail from, I think it's the Ghost Garland. And we had already used the Franken ghosty in the very beginning. We did the pumpkin ghosty, the witch ghosty, the vampire ghosty. We still had to do the pirate ghosty, and I had to make sure that he was going to be able to be implemented in the blanket because we couldn't leave him out, and we were getting down to the wire on how many squares. So we added him, and we ended up with an additional ghosty, even though that pattern is for a set of 5. We have the viewer that suggested, well, she really wanted to see me turn one of the ghosties into a cat ghosty. And I ended up doing that. I think it was a couple weeks ago, and freehanding the tail and the little black ears. Um, so this was number 5 of that really cute ghost garland from the caffeinated snail. Information for that is in the description box. So if you're interested, they make cute little quick appliques. They're super fun. You can use them on anything. So there was that one. And then yesterday, we drew at random for today another Red Heart Super Saver jumbo stripes and brights. And yet again, I chose to leave this one blank, and I totally didn't even read what you guys had said. But there's a caveat. Let's see. Lisa Knits said, "Hi, Missy. I guess a Halloween egg." Oh, she's going with the egg, Ranee. People are starting to pick up on what you're throwing out there. Then Sam over at Memphis Makes, our lovely yarny friend and sister in the UK, said, "Yay, we definitely have a witchy connection." Yes, we do. have another night off and work on other things. And yes, I did. I am actually working diligently on Laura from Mammy Me's Crochet and Farming. She is doing a make along for what's in a name. And I won't give all the details because that's her make along. Go check her out if you don't know what it is. And it's getting close to the end of the month. And basically, what we were supposed to make this month was find a pattern with our true birth name as the name of the pattern and make that pattern and send a picture of her to her if we wanted to participate. Well, I am one of the lucky few who does not have a pattern that has my name. And I have yet to even, well, I have met one person in my life with the same name. However, their name was spelled entirely different. My name is very weird, very strange. And those of you who have been around for a while, even before I started my channel and know me from commenting, like over in Sam's comment section and lives, you guys know I have a very strange name. And I will show that when I do a video for it. I'm almost done with that project because if there was no pattern out there with your name on it, we had to create our own. So that's what I've been doing behind the scenes and hoping I can get it done by the end of the month and get the picture over to her. So I went off on a tangent. And I'll be excited to show you guys once I get it done too. And then we have Patricia at the Yarny Cat Crochet that says TP, TP, TP. That's an awesome ghosty, I guess, a lit candle. More TP. I'm telling you, Ranee, you have rubbed off on so many people. And then we have Karen Smith that said, hi, Lady O. Hi, Karen. I think either White Kitty, Chocolate Frog, or Golden Snitch. And then Rainy at the Woolly Llama Shop says, I'm out of guesses. So it's going to be TP for the remaining days. She's not going to let up on the TP because she knows I've been feeling like I've let her down. So we left this one blank to be strategic. And like I said, and I'm about to talk to you about that, depending, this may end up with something on it once it gets implemented in the blanket because we are so close. We only have 3 more squares, guys. And then, yeah. So I'm going to show you, Rainy, I'm not going to let you down. And all your little friends, your entourage that have been screaming what you've been wanting on my blanket, not going to let you down. So over the last couple days, it's been weighing on my heart that I have not put that on there, and you want to see it so bad. So, and I could not find anything online. Could not. Nothing. So I freehanded a little roll of toilet paper applique. I left the string. So it will be put on the blanket somewhere, sometime, and it is a little large. I just got to get the squares positioned just right, figure out where those extra large ones are going to go. And then, like I said, some of these blank ones are going to get other appliques that I have ready to go, or some that aren't quite finished and just need pieced together or whatever. But yes, I did make your roll of toilet paper. I hope it looks okay. And not only did I do an applique for toilet paper to go on there once we get these squares joined, but you've been wanting an egg. I did an egg. And not only did I do the egg, but I also did one that's been broke open. So we've got Rainy's egg, we've got a busted egg, and we've got a roll of toilet paper that will be going into the blanket. So I couldn't let her down. I mean, she is our in-house main shenanigator. This was her brilliant idea. So I had to do it. and I will figure out a way to get them in a square somewhere once I get my squares all joined up and figure out where I can place them. So I will always and forever have Rainey's TP inspiration and eggs. So yeah, I just had to. I just had to. So that leaves us with picking our next square for tomorrow. And then we have one last piece of business for today, and that will be our 13-day Advent yarn advent from Wildflower Yarns for the oh the In My Pastel Goth Era Halloween Advent. We will be picking, I think it's day 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Day 9, yes. All right, so let's pick. What is tomorrow's square? Ooh. Oh, okay. So this is one that has a lot of weave ends to weave in. This is tomorrow's square. How pretty. We haven't had one of these in quite a while. It's got a purple center, that grapey purple. So we're kind of going with a theme this time. That neon green. We've got that fluorescent neon orange, sparkly black, and then it goes back out to the purple again, the green and the orange. So this is day 98 square. Um, I'm excited. We haven't had one of these in a while, and I think it's going to look super cool in this stack. It's going to go very well. So, yes, tomorrow, day 98. And then we're getting close to figuring out where to put the eggs and the toilet paper. Rainey, I hope you're excited for these. I worked hard on them because I can't let you down. All right, let's get to the final piece of business before this video gets super long. I know as the group of 10 gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it takes us a little longer to go through everything. So we are on October 27th, right there. This is day 9. And let's open her up. And for those of you who do not know who Wildflower Yarns is, she is based out of the United Kingdom in Liverpool. And her information for her Etsy shop is down in the description box. I found her through Sam, who has gotten, I think it's a couple orders of, I think they were called dip dye grab bags. And I thought the yarn was absolutely gorgeous. I went over there and checked it out. And at that time, I think it was back in July, she was taking pre-orders for the 13 days of Halloween yarn advent for the In My Pastel Goth Era. And so I went ahead and got did the pre-order, and it finally got here. I was wondering if it was going to get here in time because customs had it forever. So let's see what's in today's. Ooh. Oh, how pretty. So this one's like a paler glacial blue, and it's got some blackish, like I can't tell if it's navy or black, a little bit of gray, some like a aqua blue, some purple. Oh, and it's coming undone. No, don't do that to me because I'm not good at putting them back together for sure. Okay, so we got her on there. It's probably not as good as what she had it, but there. Look at all that purple. And it's sparkly. You can kind of see the stellina, especially in the darker parts. I wish you guys could see it. Like I said, once we get right now it's raining off and on and it's really gray and chilly outside. Once we get past the 13 days and have everything opened up, and we get some sunshine, I will take these outside and get a very good picture. So let's add her to the hook with her sisters. And this is what we've got so far from day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, 7, 8, and then today, day 9. We're running out of room on the hook, but it's only 13 days, so we're good, I think. Um, if not, I'll find something bigger. So there we go. Wildflower yarns, day 9. Okay, guys. So I guess with that, I'm going to let you guys go. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday and come back tomorrow for a day 98. And we'll see what square we're working with. Because, guys, I can't believe Friday is Halloween. And I know the blanket won't be completely done, even if all the squares are joined. However, I do want to do it some justice and trim it out and put a nice trim on the end. And I do want to implement those extra appliques, the extra large ones and the fun ones like these for Ranee, her eggs, and the toilet paper, and some other ones that are in the box. And who knows, depending, I may be inspired to go through that list again and make some more of those little suggestions, depending, and implement those into the blanket in little spots and spaces that I feel need another applique. So, yeah. So, with that, thank you for coming in, and thank you to all the new ones who have joined in on this little crochet chaotic bandwagon that I call Missy's Universe and more. And I guess with that, I'm going to let you guys go. And I love you bunches. And we will be back tomorrow for day 98. So bye for now, guys.